Before you begin anything, the first thing you have to do is start with knowledge. Get knowledge. Get knowledge. It's very important. Knowledge is very, very important. You don't start doing something without knowing anything about it. You have to begin with knowledge. And that's what the book of Proverbs begins with. Proverbs chapter 1 tells us that you have to first begin with knowledge. And today we are learning about Proverbs chapter 1 because Proverbs is a very good book and it has a lot of wise sayings that we have to learn and apply them into our life. So let's begin. Seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. How do you seek knowledge? Which knowledge are you supposed to seek? And how do you make that knowledge part of you? I say to seek knowledge, you have to know which kind of knowledge you want to seek. Remember that knowledge is information. Knowledge is information. Knowledge is what you want to know. Yeah, what you want to know. So if, for example, I want to know about health. I want to know about health. What do? I go and seek knowledge on health. I want to know how to live a good life. I seek knowledge about how to live a good life. How to live a healthy life. I seek knowledge on that. And that's information. So I get to know what I need to do to seek knowledge. What I need to do. Maybe there are steps, there are methods, there are principles, there are laws, there are commandments, there are precepts, there are statutes that I need to know so that I'll be able to live a good life or a healthy life. So as I said, Proverbs 1 tells us that you have to first begin with wisdom. The Bible tells us in Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So what does the fear of the Lord means? I say the fear of the Lord means that you have a deep reverence. You have an awe and respect for God. It's not being afraid or seeing God as a threat, so you're afraid. No, it's not about that. It's not being afraid of Him like a threat, but honoring Him for who He is. Who is God to you? We know God is holy. We know God is powerful. We know God is just. We know God is loving. We know God is everywhere. We know God is great. God is good. God is powerful. We know all this about God. That's why we have to fear Him, not because He's a threat. No, that's not why we fear God. That's not the fear. That's not what the fear of God means. But we respect Him. We give Him honor. We give Him honor. We have deep reverence for Him. We honor Him. So beginning with knowledge, anytime you get knowledge, anytime you want to start with something, you have to get knowledge first. Let's read quite a few verses in Proverbs chapter 1 for us to seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. Proverbs 1. I want us to read verse 5. It says, a wise man will hear and increase learning. A wise man will hear and increase learning. That's what a wise man does. He will hear something, will hear an instruction, and would like to know more. Would like to know. So, for example, I'm curious. Curiosity is part of such a person. A person that wants knowledge must know that that person has to be curious about it. You don't just wake up and you're just asking questions. You don't really care about it. You're just asking questions. You have to be curious about it. So seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. It says a wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. What is a wise counsel? A wise counsel is a wise knowledge. a wise information, something he can use in his life, something he can apply in his life, something that he can apply in his life. And as we read, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, and fools despise wisdom and instruction. Fools despise wisdom and instructions. Fools despise informations. They despise all knowledge that they need to know about a subject matter, about something that they need to know, something that will help them in their life. They despise it. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want anyone to tell them about it. They just despise it. And that shouldn't be your case. So this month, just begin with wisdom, begin with knowledge, begin with knowledge, know more about it. What do I want to know this month? Just begin with it. Get to know it. Get to know it. Have the informations that you need. Information that you need. So, beginning with wisdom. Now that you have knowledge, there's one thing also that you need to know. You have to shun evil counsel. What do I mean by evil counsel? Things that will lead you into a wrong way or into a wrong path. Things that will destroy you or things that will make you sin. That's evil counsel. Evil counsel just draws you, takes you out of the right path, or takes you out of the way that you're supposed to go to. So, Proverbs chapter 1 verse 8 says, "My son, hear the instruction of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother." So instructions there and the law there states is about information. So your parents are always going to give you information, what you are supposed to do and what you are not supposed to do. That's information. So the Proverbs book is telling us that we should hear what our father wants to tell us, what our mothers want to tell us. And we read in verse 10. We'll go to verse 10. It says, "My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent." If sinners entice you, do not consent. And what does it mean? Verse 11 says, "If they say, 'Come with us,' let us lie in wait to shed blood. Let us lurk secretly for the innocent without cause." He says, do not go with them. Do not go with them. Do not consent. If they tell you to do something that is out or is bad, evil counsel, if they give you evil counsel, do not go with them. Do not do what they say you should do. Do not go with them when they say, "Let us wait to shed blood." Do not go with them if they say, "Let us take this drug," or "Let us watch this video that is just full of sexual things." Do not consent. Do not consent. Do not consent. Do not consent to them. Verse 15 says, "My son, do not walk in the way with them." Do not walk in that way with them. Do not walk in that way with them. It says, keep your foot from their path. Keep your foot from their path. Do not walk with them. It says, verse 16 says, "For their feet run to evil." Their feet run to evil. Anytime they wake up, they are just running to evil. They are just seeking of who to harm, what bad thing they should do, who to steal from. They are just seeking to do evil. So do not consent. Do not walk in that path. Do not walk in that path. So I wrote this. With knowledge, you can shun evil. Anytime you have knowledge, you have the capability or you have the ability to shun evil. So people will come to you and give you knowledge, all kinds of knowledge. You have to know which knowledge you are supposed to know. Filter those knowledge that are good for you, and those that are not good, just throw them away. So what does knowledge helps you with? Knowledge helps you to avoid bad companies. Knowledge helps you to avoid bad companies. Knowledge helps you to know whose environment you are supposed to be, who you are supposed to surround yourself with. The second thing is knowledge helps you to avoid bad pathways. Bad pathways. You're not supposed to be walking on paths that leads to distractions. No. You're not supposed to walk on path that leads you to a place where you harm someone, or that leads you to a place where you destroy your life, or where your life will end. No. That's the second thing. The third thing, knowledge helps you avoid careless mistakes. Careless mistakes. There are mistakes that you shouldn't make. They are careless. Because of knowledge, because you don't have knowledge on it, you're going to do a mistake. You're going to make a mistake that is careless. Careless. So the last thing is unprofitable risks. 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 Risk. Risk. Yeah, risk. So knowledge helps you avoid unprofitable risks. There are some risks that you shouldn't venture when you have knowledge about that subject matter or about that business. There are some risks you shouldn't dare to do. There are some risks you shouldn't dare to do. So now you have knowledge, and now you know what not to do. You know how to shun evil counsel. What are you supposed to do next? That's when the call of knowledge comes in. That's when knowledge calls you. I say knowledge doesn't call anybody. No, wisdom rather. Wisdom doesn't call anybody. Wisdom doesn't call anybody. Wisdom doesn't call anybody. Wisdom only calls those who have knowledge. So if you want wisdom to be calling you, make sure you have knowledge. Begin with knowledge. Begin with knowledge. So wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is the application of understood knowledge. Is the application of understood knowledge. So I wrote something here. I'll say this again. Wisdom calls a knowledgeable person. Wisdom calls a knowledgeable person. If you don't have knowledge, wisdom is not going to call you. No, wisdom is not going to call you, because wisdom is the application of understood knowledge. Is the application of understood knowledge. And I wrote something here. Wisdom is not the I know thing. No, it's not about I know thing. Wisdom is about I can do what I know thing. I can do what I know thing. So if you know, and you're not applying it, you're not wise. A wise person always applies what he knows. So it's not I know thing. No, I can do what I know thing. I can do what I know thing. I want us to read a verse in the same Proverbs chapter 1. We are reading 29. We read 28. It says, then they will call on me, but I will not answer. It says they will call on me. So wisdom is the one speaking. It says they will call on me, and I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but they will not find me. Why? Why would they find me? Verse 9 answers that question. Because they hated knowledge. That's why I said that before you start something, you have to begin with knowledge. If you hate knowledge, there's no way you can become wise. So it says, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. So earlier on, I explained what the fear of the Lord means. So it says they hated knowledge and they did not choose the fear of the Lord. So because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, when they call me, I will not answer. When they call me, I will not answer. When they seek me, they will not find me. They will not find me. Verse 30 says, they would have none of my counsel. They will have none of my counsel and despise all my reproof. It says they will not eat the fruit of their own way. It says they shall eat the fruit of their own way, and be filled to the full with their own fancies. For the turning away of the simple will slay them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will dwell safely. Whoever listens to me will dwell safely and will be secure without the fear of evil. Without the fear of evil. So you have to begin with knowledge. Begin with knowledge. Knowledge, a knowledgeable person is always called by wisdom. Wisdom will always call a knowledgeable person, because wisdom is I can do what I know, not I know what I know, not just I know what I know. If you know it, wisdom calls you, and wisdom makes sure that whatever you know, you can apply it in your life. So that's Proverbs chapter 1. Proverbs chapter 1 tells us that we have to have knowledge, you have to shun evil, and wisdom will call us. Wisdom will call us. Wisdom is always call us. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll continue on Proverbs chapter 2. Thank you very much.